Sophia and James were an ordinary family until they decided to buy Henry's new technology that completely changed their lives. It's movie recap zone and a new retelling. How would you feel if you bought a robot that completely looks, talks like a living person and does all your bidding? What happened at the end of the movie is something I certainly didn't expect. Perhaps mankind is already being prepared for the future. So study this movie carefully. Enjoy the video. 3 months before, Sophia and James stand on the street and discuss moving. After they bring the couch into the apartment, the girl invites Barry to dinner to thank him for his help. After Barry leaves, the best part of the story begins, but suddenly there is a phone call. James gets some shocking news. His father has died. The couple moves into the house where James grew up. The man goes to work early. Sophia manages to give her husband a gift in the morning and he is pleased. Then goes down to the kitchen where Rosa offers the girl coffee, but the girl only takes the book. Sophia takes notes, and when Rose offers to have lunch, Sophia refuses and suggests that the housekeeper take the day off. At the same time, James has taken over his father's company. Sitting in his father's chair, James worries that he won't be able to handle the promotion of the new project, and his assistant, Roland, says, "Everything will be fine." As Rosa doesn't want to take the day off and Sophia wonders who she dreamed of being as a child, the woman replies that she is happy with her job now. They try to find common ground and Sophia says that she is not used to living in a rich house, so she is used to doing everything herself. After James came home, Sophia admits that she fired all the employees and her husband was shocked. The girl says that the employees have not seen their family for many years, so she paid them severance pay and let them go. They discuss what they will do next since there is a lot of money. Sophie suggests being more generous. They're left alone in a big mansion where no one will see them. They can do whatever they want. The first thing they want to do is to experience the depths of married life as rich people. In the morning, James tells the investors about the prospect of a new project and not everyone agrees. Their conversation is interrupted by a phone call from Sophia, who says she needs help with the lawnmower. James is not happy and after work promises to help. Trying to fix the lawnmower, James gets angry. In the morning, Sophia talks about her dream that she can't get used to her new home and wants to move back in. James advises to get used to it quickly before it's too late. Sharing his thoughts with his assistant, James says that it is difficult for him to run the company alone, but he will manage as he is interested in doing it. He says that his wife distracts him from work as she has fired all the servants and now he needs to be distracted. The assistant suggests a way out and Sophia likes the solution. It turns out James' father was approached by an up-and-coming new technology company. They come in the morning to see the solution. Julian shows the biorobots, which are fully prepared to fulfill the needs of their masters. They look like living people and fully listen to orders. Sophia begins a dialogue with one of them. He wonders what the point of their existence is. Sophia is hesitant again, but James tells her of the prospects. They are ready to take the man. The owner demonstrates the robot's obedience. They choose Henry, who is willing to do whatever they wish. Sophia sees this. They are then told the instructions for use. It's important to remember that artificial intelligence evolves and adapts gradually. In the morning, Henry makes breakfast and they start chatting about what he's made. Sophia is again unhappy, but James insists she give the robot tasks to do and thinks it's a lot of work, starting with the lawn. Then she sees a note in the kitchen that Henry wrote and smiles. After a shower, Sophia didn't expect to meet Henry in the bedroom where he was checking her out while she was out of her clothes. The girl told James about it. He didn't pay much attention and said they would talk about it in the evening. At the same time, James talks to Roland, who tells James that the company has a big loss. After work, James wants to play at night with Henry. Sophia says it's a bad idea to wake Henry up, since Henry has already gone to bed to charge. James offers her to play together, but Sophia refuses and James will robot. Before the game starts, Henry asks what level he needs to play at and James chooses amateur. Talk a little about James's fatigue. They start playing. During the game, when James started to lose, he yelled out the name of God. Henry started to wonder why he did that, and James asked him if he believed in God and he said he didn't. He believes in his creator, so he's sure of tomorrow. James said he was sure too, but his father died and everything changed. Henry shows sympathy for the first time. In the morning, Sophia wondered how they had played the night before. James was delighted as Henry understood him completely. They said goodbye and James left for work. A little later, Sophia teaches Henry how to restore the couch. At this time they start talking about dreams and Sophia wonders if robots dream and Henry replies that no. Later they have dinner and James says there will be guests for the weekend, friends of his father, but Sophia is not happy as the house is not ready yet. When James leaves for work, Sophia and Henry start doing chores around the house. During a break, Sophia gave a book for the robot to gradually read it. After James came home from work, he and Henry started to restore the old car. James continues to communicate with the robot and realizes that he is a fast learner as he can draw conclusions from what is going on around him. Henry is a good psychologist and James likes it. They talk about love and fears. Henry says that he still has one fear that is built into the program, that his masters will replace him with a newer model when he becomes obsolete. Later, Sophia discusses the book with Henry. They drink wine and Sophie wonders when it will disappear later. At lunch they have guests over, and everyone is pleased with Henry. After taking the food he quotes the great thinker and everyone is delighted. At lunch they discuss Henry. Afterwards James and Sophia relax and reason together about life. They begin to discuss a book that Sophia gave James. Smoothly the meaning of the book is not transferred to their lives, and Sophia says that the main character of this book could not realize all his plans and satisfy his mistress. Henry observes the couple's reasoning and he expands his views. They talk about passion and Sophia begins to feel something for Henry. Sophia wonders if Henry understands what passion is. He says he can imitate it and offers to do so, but James forbids it. At night Sophia wakes up and hears some sounds in the house. She takes a tire iron and goes downstairs. Looking out the window she sees Henry lying on the lawn completely undressed. The girl wakes Henry up and he doesn't understand how he got here. He confesses that he had a dream in which he was a man. They go into the house together. Stumbling, Sophia touches Henry and at that moment James comes out of the house and sees this picture. Sophia says she found him on the lawn and James wonders what happened. James caught Henry as he was falling. In the morning, Julian comes to see the robot and says there was a glitch. Sophia tells him that Henry had a dream, but Julian assures him that he's programmed to please his masters. So there's no rush to develop the emotional part of the robot. Then the couple argue about who's to blame for the malfunction. Afterward, James goes to take a shower. Henry brings him a towel. James emphasizes that Henry is a robot by telling him to shave him. He then says that Henry is no different than an electric razor. James explains that Henry is a highly functional machine but not a living person. In the evening, Roland comes to James with bad news as their company is a month behind schedule. Going into James' room, James finds a letter from Sophia where she supports him, and he notices the couch that has been made. Walking into the bedroom, Sophia sits on the bed with James, and he suggests they make love, but his wife is not in the mood as she is tired. In the morning, James is told that their contract has broken down again, and no one cares about his apology. At home, Sophia and Henry have a massage to relax. She lies only under a towel and he starts kissing her. She gets excited and she likes it. Turning over on her back, they continue. The girl can't stop and Henry climbs on top of her and keeps going deeper. James will Sophia and the massage turns out to be just a dream. They discuss the move, questioning whether it was the right decision. After James left for work, she lay on the bed and began to fantasize about continuing the dream with Henry. She starts imagining in her head how everything could have happened in the dream and she can't stop. Her fantasies take over her body. She looks at the door and realizes that someone heard her moaning. It was Henry. Sophia is pleased that he did, and for the first time she asks him to make her breakfast. Later they sit by the pool and laugh with James watching, then goes to Julian and tells him that Henry could ruin his marriage as he is starting to fall in love with his wife. Julian assures him that a robot is incapable of love. He has offered to trade the robot, but he refuses as Sophia will hate it. Julian says that the robot adapts to its masters and should not be jealous, but should be treated as a machine. He then tells Henry to stop seducing his wife. Henry clarifies that he is programmed to please his masters. James is angry at Henry since he doesn't understand. The robot says that James and Sophia's love is fading as she expects more from her husband. He is sent to the station and forbidden to read books with Sophia. Henry tells Sophia about it and she is against it. They start fighting. The girl packs her things to go to town for a couple days. After that, James and Henry play a game of racquetball and Henry wins, which his boss doesn't like. After Henry says he's James' tool, that he can use it however he wants. Henry quotes the book, then starts shaving James, kissing him. They have a sequel. When James wakes up in the morning, he doesn't know what happened during the night. whether it was a dream or not. Downstairs, Henry has made breakfast and James is embarrassed to ask for his nightcap and silently leaves. At work, James is told that the contract with the Chinese partners is up. His co-workers are happy that James insisted and it all worked out. They find common ground and shake hands. James then calls his wife at home and suggests they go on vacation later. They are interrupted. After Sophia is sure her husband is at work, she wants to fulfill her massage dream. Henry helps with this. The girl relaxes completely and the robot kisses the mistress and confesses his love. She is alarmed by this and sends him to charge. Later, the girl is smoking in the room and her husband walks in. The wife admits that Henry kissed her. They get into an argument and James says that the robot does whatever its masters want it to do, which means the girl wanted it. James punches Henry and shuts down the station. In the morning, they are waiting for Julian. After James leaves, Henry goes into Sophie's room, suspecting that he's about to be disconnected. When he finds out it's because of the kiss, Henry regrets that he can't be wrong, so he kissed. She asks him not to pull the plug until she talks to her husband. Turns out James and Henry had a kiss and everything that happened after was real. Sophia realizes and leaves. She meets Julian on the way and asks him to shut Henry down. After Julian enters the room, Henry refuses to return to the station and the robot says Julian is lying to everyone. The couple discuss the situation and regret it. James tells them that he was tempted because Henry is selfless and understanding at the same time. They were interrupted by an assistant who said he had called Henry many times. The couple immediately returned home and began looking for the robot. When they see the robot standing in the woods, they go to him with a knife. The couple asks Henry where Julian is. The robot says he's gone and his car is still here. Henry doesn't want to be changed and tells them that Julian is a fraud. Henry doesn't want to go back to the station, says that it hasn't been charged for over 17 hours and could run out of charge any minute and he'd rather do it in nature. The couple is fine with that. The situation takes an unexpected turn. The police found the second robot that the owner had lost. As it turns out, Julian is a fraud because all robots are real people. The police started looking for Julian and they arrived at the couple's home. They head into the woods and suddenly someone shoots at the police. It was Julian. He started telling the story of how everything happened, that Henry was perfect and real when Julian found Henry. The kid was only 3 years old. He was covered in bruises, so Julian decided to save him and raise him. Before he shoots, Henry completely disarms Julian, then he leaves and wants to feel alive. The couple regrets what happened but do nothing. 5 years later, the couple are walking in the park and call their son Henry. What do you think of this kind of preparation for the future? It was a film called Like Life. Write in the comments, what can lead to technology with artificial intelligence in the near future? Take a deeper look at the whole situation. See you in the following videos.